Hey guys, welcome. I'm going to get started in just a second. Hope you're all well. If you're just coming in, I'm Will Sebastian. Nice to meet you. If you don't know me already, I'm a full-time multi-asset day trader and founder of Be Profitable Trading Academy. If you want to get my free training, you want to change things up, you want to do what a pro does every single day, go here. It's 100% free. It's the best training you'll probably get on here. If you want to come and chat with us, ask questions, talk to me, go to Discord. That is where it all happens. And of course, during this stream, you can press that boost button right there and then ask a question as well. That'd be fantastic. The more questions, the better. If you're in my Discord and you want to ask them in the stream queue section, just put it up for a minute. It's right there. Okay, and you can type it in the box. All right. So anywhere is fine. Just make sure you ask, and if you can, push the like button. That'd be fantastic. So I'm going to start things off because we're at 9:20. I'm going to give a minute or two for people to come in. So let's let everyone know we're going. Okay. Look. There we are. I think everyone's got the point now. So yeah, if you want to let me know how you are, where you're from, any questions, let me know. Hey, Soincoin, good to see you. So yeah, let's kick things off. 9:21. I'm sure people will come in as we go. I'll start on indexes. I'm going to change the way I do these streams a little bit. I've posted loads and loads of members' content for my private members with full trading plans for every situation, for every asset that day. With these free streams, I'll probably do more of a directional approach, just saying what I think based on where the price is going to go, short, medium, and long term. So, starting on indexes to get the general feel of the overall market. It's normally how I do things. I think your DAX is going to pour down lower. If you go to your higher time frames and you just look where it is now, we called it short over here, as you'll know, and there, shorted all of that, comes down, and this handle has a really, well, it has a strongish rejection to the upside, and you can immediately see it's pouring down. I think that'll continue. I think it will keep going under this previous low. Okay, let me just get a horizontal line. I think you might stumble around on the dormant line. Ultimately, I think you'll come much lower than that. Hey, Lalan, great to see you. Lalan's an Academy member. Lalan, if you have any questions, let me know. If it's more in depth, just send me the whole thing privately, a big paragraph, and I can dissect it all in different series. So yeah, I mean, you've had price rejection here already and there. This is why you're getting all these bounces. In other words, if you get some more there when you're drawing the big line, wouldn't surprise me. I think longer term, and if you pull up something like your monthly, I think you're going to get much lower than that for your DAX. And I think you're going to come nearer your 20 MA because you've been off from that 20 MA for a significant period of time, more or less since the end of last year. And gold I'll do in a minute. Thank you for the suggestion. So yeah, I think you're going to come back ultimately. You haven't really had a strong pullback, since October 22. So it's been a while. In other words, no, I would definitely expect the DAX to fall further. But if you haven't shorted it yet, I wouldn't race in and do that because you're a little bit too late. If you wanted to do it, you probably should have done it there or here. I think you're a bit late on that. So I'd only re-short if you come back to previous short zones. UK 100, I literally just filmed myself taking it long. I really like the UK 100 long. I'm long now. It's just based off various things, mainly tech levels. You had employment data earlier with a few changes. It's expected the rate will peak, interest rate for the Bank of England will peak at 6%. I should think they'll sustain that for a while. I mean, it's going to cost you far more to borrow money here for a long period of time. Nonetheless, I really like this long, so I took it long just before I did the stream, and I filmed it, so we'll be able to play it back and see what happens. If you go further, as many of you know, I'll buy more. I'm not going to be shy, I'm just going to buy more. And I'm going to do it in line with my full risk plans, of which you can get inside my academy. So, like it long for your UK index. Think you might get a little bounce on here with your S&P, but again, much like your DAX, I think longer term you've still got room. It's the same across various index markets. I think you'll get a bounce. I think ultimately index markets have come up for such a long time in a row, and you're now going to see that all the tightening monetary policy is going to take effect with companies, and they won't make as much, and you'll probably see the markets fall down. But nonetheless, just from a purely tech perspective anyway, it's come up for such a long time, I would only want to see it fall. So I'll go on to gold. Lalon, like I said, is an Academy member. He's asked about that in the chat. There, if you are wanting to learn how I trade for free, remember you can get it there. Okay, click the link, it will take you there. If you want to, come and have a chat as well. So yeah, a lot of people in here, press the boost, ask me a question in here. Press the boost, say something. Okay, that's you paying the gate toll. So gold, let's do a full one. So gold, I've done so many times, and I've said inside my Discord today about what I think really on gold, but I've said for weeks that this is going to happen. You can roll back on my posts, my videos, my streams. I said it's going to come down like this. It's going to tiptoe down. It's going to slowly crack and crack and crack. And every single push is followed by a sustained fall. Now, why is that? Okay. Well, it's because people aren't interested in buying it at any of these levels. It's quite simple. They've bought it, but they haven't bought it strongly. Like I said, I've said for a very long time, I think it's going to fall through. I think it's going to fall through. And I still remain with that bias. I think you're going to get lower. And I expected it. I did say crumble. It wouldn't be a fast fall. It's going to crumble. Like I said, you can go and watch that back. I think you'll go further. Perhaps some news, maybe retail sales today. I'm not entirely sure if that will do it, but you'll probably get some news that'll take it down around 1870. I wouldn't be shocked if then you do see a bounce in the market. Okay, so my bias on gold, I think you're going to keep falling. I don't hold much weight within this. This isn't significant enough for me, and I don't think it will hold. I think you'll come through. It just doesn't look pretty at all. Okay, as I always say, what you saw with this fall down here is just reflective of what you saw on this rise. Nothing significant and standing out, just literally like a staircase going up and a staircase coming down. So to answer your question specifically, Lalard, I like it lower on gold. I think you're going to come lower. I wouldn't short it now because, again, like I was saying on the DAX, for example, you're just too late. I'd only short on a push up because that's the only way you can get a high price to sell like you would anywhere else outside of trading. So 1872 area, my bias is still long. I don't think you're going to get much on this daily 200 MA. It might come up, okay, you might bounce from this, but if you're not in or out, if you're just sat on your hands, you can't lose any money anyway. So if it does pop up, great, fine, not interested. If it comes up higher, I'll short. But I don't have to buy here. Although it's a tech long, I don't have to buy. I always have the option of just letting it either come up or down and then getting a better price, which is exactly what I'm doing. So that's gold. Dollar yen, much like Swiss yen, I'm still remain short. I'm reflecting off the price action over here. So I like the dollar yen short. I think you'll come down a further way if you do get rejection here. As I always say, if you come up higher, I'll DCA further because the price has already rallied for a significant period of time. much like most things, is pending a fall. That's why I said it was so important to come on this stream, because at this point you've got loads and loads of different FX pairs, well, gold as well, loads of different things coming to points where there's a lot of interest. It's not just a normal point in the market. For example, on your pound New Zealand, I mean, this is just mental. And I'm short all the way up, and I'll continue to DCA and hedge when I need to. Okay, I'm short because if I go on my monthly, I did a post about this yesterday. Yes, it's come up slightly higher, but I'm still short. My bias doesn't change. Okay. Um, so if I draw a red line there, you can see that this candle wick is in line exactly where we are. You've got a tremendously high stochastic oscillator. You've been coming up since the end of last year. Okay. All of this tells you that you shouldn't be buying. It's too late. Therefore, I would expect eventually you're going to get a larger fall. I should think it will take you around here. Okay. Probably 209.65 is where I'd look to rescale in long. It may as well catch up as they always do. And that is the pending short zone for me. That's where I think you'll get to ultimately. Which the high level, high time frame price action level does that, whether it's now or whether it's 216, where you've got another one, your bias remains short. It is totally a short now. Whether it comes down tomorrow or next week, we'll see. I'm DCA short. New Zealand dollar is the same for me, really, as your pound New Zealand, obviously, because it's got the New Zealand dollar in it. However, the long I took, I've already taken it, is very light. Okay, because I think there's a chance that you may drip lower based on early price action. It's still technically a long, but I would just feel slightly more comfortable probably down here, and if not down there, you could place your long down here. So I might consider adding slightly 588, more confidently, more risk aversely 5815. Just finishing my drink to keep my throat sorted. So anything down here is a tech long anyway. I mean, if you go on your monthly, you've come down since 2014, really, but you're only going sideways since early 2000. Okay, so I'm really just looking for bumps in the road like this, and I'll probably take faster exits. But if you don't get that, I'll hedge lower. Your risk averse long zone, if you just want to completely hold off, is 5.8, 5.878, I'd probably say. So a little bit lower, and I may consider adding there indeed. All dollars similarly, in a similar way, you've got the same. So you've picked under this previous low. That's why I took a tech long. Again, not an enormous entry, very light. And if you get lower like your New Zealand dollar, then I may consider adding in a slightly more confident way, because the lower the price, the better. But nonetheless, this is a tech long because you've come off all the way from here. And, you know, I've said this in a post as well. If you look where you fell, okay, you're looking for a similar thing when you come back, just like you had here. Okay? Because that is not a coincidence. That is because you have key price action levels previously. So you hit it once here, short, and then it comes back and you're short again. And then these projection zones link in with this and that. Okay, so the market repeats, and it's purely based on price action, the long I've taken here. Okay. So that is my answer for dollar. I'm still long, and if it goes lower, I'll add. I would not be shocked if your all dollar or your New Zealand dollar get lower. So don't slam in. It wouldn't surprise me if they get to 6387, right? And therefore, I'm planning future longs at that point. Pound Ord, much like your pound New Zealand, I like it short. My bias still remains short. Okay, and I would expect as well a larger fall when it does fall. Okay, but don't go in trading these things without any risk plans. Okay, the reason why I spend such a long amount of time, and after this, I'm going to do a private members risk plan video about the variance of markets long term. If you don't have those plans and you're not managing your drawdown, you will get cremated. You'll lose everything and it turns nasty. Okay, so don't be like that. This is far off those moving averages. You've clearly got an above average price. If you look at your stochastic oscillator, it's way up. Clearly, you shouldn't be buying. You should only be looking short based on long-term extreme market price action, of which you're coming to a notable rejection level at that point, and there's further notable rejection slightly higher up. So I would add here, short, DCA, and probably here, but I'm never bunching up. I'm spacing out over time because it gives me a chance to get out if the market falls. If your positions are too close together and the market keeps rallying away, your drawdown is obviously going to grow too quickly. So I drop my size. I just trade more safely when the market gets extreme. You flip back to this FTSE, okay, I'm still long, right? I'm temporarily wrong by about 20 points, okay, because I've got a slightly worse entry. I'm still long, right? Just like the New Zealand, I'm temporarily wrong in this because my entry is too early. But you can only see that with hindsight, but I'm not out the trade. That is the difference. I'm still long. And I'll still be long if the market keeps falling. So if I enter long here, I'll still be in that long when I come down here, right? Because of my style of trading and loss mitigation via fit taking less. So that's the difference, really, between what you're doing and what I'm doing. For oil, you haven't got really a sustained fall at the moment from this. There's still upside bias, but much like many other pairs, and the reason why I put so much emphasis on this stream is because I think, again, you're coming to points where it would be very ideal if the price fell from here. If it doesn't, again, we're going to DCA further. But if it does, you should probably get a larger fall. Because if you just look to the left, I mean, 28th of June to now, it's a long time, all right? If you don't get the fall, I'm just DCAing it further. But really, I like it long at this point. Should you get that far, okay? You're too late to short, so don't get in now because the market is already making its way. You could reshort higher. I would do so lightly. Looking at the long-term market, which I did a full video on already, you may find that you have stronger price action levels higher up. Therefore, you may hold off another entry, like I probably will, till you get to your 934. Okay? Because that's the only place where you've got that significant PA to take you down. So if you get up there, that is where I would look short. By the way, if you're in my Discord, the stream questions section is open. If you'd rather ask the questions in there, you can. Right? It's up to you. But oil 93.3 is risk of a short zone. By the way, you've got retail sales news for the US. It's probably the most prolific thing that's going on today. So that's 1:30 GMT. You've got Bank of Canada CPI. It should be interesting. Canada's economy is a bit hit and miss at the moment. I look forward to the CPI data for Canada. A quick push on your FTSE now, probably impulse reaction, to which I was out of shorts. I exited a short about 7416, I think, that I had. I took all the swap I'd earned, like interest more or less, and I'm going to kill it much higher up on the bounce. Like I said, I've recorded that and I'll post it as and when. Your pound yen coming down a little bit. I did say be wary of the pound yen because I thought there would be room for it to go higher. It has, as such, gone higher. Okay. And if it goes even higher, it wouldn't shock me. Okay, the pound is gaining against the yen. I would expect a larger fall when it does. Same your pound or same your pound New Zealand. I'm gauging a larger fall on those. So my job at the moment is to manage my equity, sure I've got enough money basically to sustain any rally before the market turns, and I can flip my bias. Effectively, is what I'm doing all the time, every day. So yeah, I'm still short those pound pairs. Like I said, I did a video on this. Another one which is really interesting, which I did a video on as well, believe it or not, um, is the US 100. Now, on your weekly, you can see the US 100 is looking weak. Same your daily. There's no massive bounce, is there? You take off all indicators, there that has failed to rocket you higher just for now. However, you have got this early price rejection and coinciding with that. So, like I put on the updates on that post, I would probably say that the better place you can short is going to be around this point. And it's just going to coincide with these PA levels here. So, what you're trying to do is you're trying to copy what you've seen already. So, you come down like this, and you come up short, come down, short again, and you see the trajectory that's going on. So you want something like this, then short. Okay. So if I do my daily just for a second, mm, I like it short in line with this PA. So I want to pull up. And if you look at the post, we call this spot on. We call that short perfectly and that short. I did a massive series on it. I said index and future markets are going to fall. So you need a bounce from there to take you up here, and you would be copying the trajectory you've seen, which is up and down, because that's how markets move naturally. They're waves. So don't trade a straight line, don't short too late, which you would do if you did it right now. Okay. You want a push, you want a good price before you sell. Someone's coming up to you and they're saying, look, if you want to sell this at the highest price or a higher price, you need to do it now. And they'll say that when you come to 15.4. So that's an ideal place to look to scale in short. And as I said, I did a big post on that. Where is it? Here. This one, if you've not seen it, I think I might not get moderated if I post it. No, I put it in the chat box. Go and watch that because it teaches you a ton about trading in a very short period of time. Okay. Let's just get these MA. I think I've saved it as a layout. Possibly, I'm not sure. I'm just going to put them back on, and it'd be helpful because everyone always asks me, what I use and why. I won't tell you the why, but I will tell you what I use. I use a stock oscillator, stochastic normal. I set it to fairly near terms, like this. And then I use a 20, a 40, a 100, and a 200 MA because it helps me gauge the market value at any time to a sustainable degree. Those numbers are commonly used and they give you good reading for where price is all the time in terms of how valid the price is. Some people use the 500 MA. It's a matter of preference. I don't. I mean, it's helpful really. Higher the MA, they're really built for long-term markets, more or less, because they tell you long-term what's going on because they take a higher range of data, basically. So it doesn't matter what colour they are as long as they're different colours. But you can see on a push-up, you would be taken to your 200 and 100 MA, which is why I said that's a good place to short, because you're coming back to a high average price. It should make sense right there. If you've got a high average price, it's better than selling low or below average, right? So that's why my bias comes in there. And you've got all this price action to reflect off to the left. You can see where there's been rejection in the market before. So that's why I reshort US 100. If you're wondering about things like the AUD yen, you're fairly chopping sideways. I think you'll get an intraday long at that point. I think you'll come up higher after that to here, probably. And I'm just brushing over random pairs. Unless anyone wants to ask anything in here, if you have just come in, I'm Will Sebastian, multi-asset day trader, the UK. I run Be Profitable Academy. The free training you can get for that is right there under the video. Push the like, ask me a question. It's been very quiet today, and it shouldn't be because there's loads going on in the market. So if you're sitting there and you're in a trade or thinking of taking a trade, you may as well put it in the chat box now, because if you don't, you'll have to hold your silence forever, I'm afraid, and you won't know. No one will ever know. So your pound CAD, you bounced here, you're coming up much like all your other pounds. I would let the pound CAD ride. I don't like it short at the moment, just because of the way the candle looks. You've got very strong price action straight through these candle wicks. I would prefer it short higher up. Okay. You do have lumps of PA here, so that's why you haven't just smashed through it. If you look carefully, and you have to do this on your monthly, right? I think there's a good chance you'll get above your previous high, and you'll fall in line with these areas. So that would be my next DCA scaling zone, because that is pushing you straight in. Okay, so that's pound CAD. Much like other pairs, I'm looking to the short side for the pound. It's come up a considerable way. Just before CAD news, I'm still scaling in short on your dollar CAD, and I'll probably add where I've just drawn that line. So I think that covers it. Not a tremendously long stream, so you haven't had as many questions. Like I said, I really like the FTSE long. Oil, I don't think you're going to fall today. I think you'll get higher. If you do fall, I'll exit shorts and change my bias long. So they're quite notable trades. But yeah, if you want to press the boost, get my free training, come and learn in the Discord. There's tons of resources you can be using every day, and you can ask from someone who knows what they're doing. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one. See you there.